I thank you for joining me for our webinar, How to Choose a College You Can Afford. As you begin the college selection process at your family college meeting, you will learn how a student is evaluated for college admission and how a student should evaluate a college to determine if he or she should apply. You will receive a list of CAC recommended colleges and be prepared to continue through the search and application process. By April 1st of 2021, you will receive all your admission decisions, and by May 1st, you will choose a college. For some, April is a month of jubilation, while for others there is distress. Not necessarily because of a college rejection, but due to receiving a financial aid package that makes a college unaffordable. As CACs, we know it is essential for you to evaluate costs up front. It is important to know how much you may be expected to pay, what you are willing to pay, and how your college costs will be met. In addition to making these important financial assessments, it is crucial to discuss the numbers before your student applies to assure that expectations align. This webinar, along with your upcoming family college meeting with your CAC, will provide tools for smart financial planning so that applications will be submitted to the colleges that parents and students can afford, and decision time will be exciting. This chart, published by College Board, shows that the tuition and fees and room and board charged at private and public colleges and universities between 2018-19 and 2019-20 increased between 2.3 to 3.4%. Sticker prices rise substantially each year. Keep in mind, it is not necessarily the published sticker price that a student is expected to pay, but the net price after taking financial aid into consideration. The search to determine affordability is complex when you consider different students can pay different prices at the same institution depending on financial circumstances, academic qualifications, athletic ability, or other characteristics. The sticker price includes tuition and fees and room and board. Keep in mind, tuition can change based on being a full or part-time student and may increase for enrolling in credits beyond what is considered full-time. Tuition may also vary based on a particular program or major. Fees can be assessed to cover costs such as athletic events, concerts, lectures, and fitness centers so that your student can participate for no additional charge or at a reduced price. Room and board can vary based on the living arrangements or meal plans selected. There are additional costs beyond the sticker price you will pay to attend colleges. These are wide-ranging but just as real. All costs combined, including tuition, fees, and room and board, are considered your cost of attendance. Costs for books and supplies can vary based on where these are purchased, such as the campus bookstore or online, the condition in which they are purchased, new or used, and whether you purchase or rent. Also, costs can vary based on the books and supplies required. For example, costs could be higher for textbooks and supplies needed in science courses versus humanities courses. Personal expenses can vary based on available campus services and personal lifestyle. Services such as laundry or printing could be an included or an additional expense. Will your students spend free time at campus events or be out on the town? Depending on the location of campus, consider whether being out on the town will be at small town or big city prices. Determine what the transportation costs will be on and around campus, as well as the cost to travel to and from home. Other costs can include anything from using the college health clinic, purchasing required computer programs, joining a sorority or fraternity, or decorating your dorm room. Now that you know more about the sticker price and cost of attendance, it is important to determine what your net cost or what a college might expect you to pay. To do so, you need to know your estimated family contribution, or EFC. There are two formulas for determining your EFC. The federal methodology uses information entered on the free application for federal student aid, or FAFSA, and is used to award federal, state, and institutional aid. Institutional methodology uses information from the College Board's CSS profile and is used by some colleges to award additional institutional aid. If you want to be considered for financial assistance, you must complete the FAFSA. Many colleges, usually the more expensive, highly selective schools that meet 100% of demonstrated need, will require you to complete both the FAFSA and the CSS profile. The first link on this slide will take you to the FAFSA EFC calculator, and the second link is for a College Board web page that has a number of cost calculators, including the FAFSA and the CSS profile. We highly recommend you assess your EFC as soon as possible. These are factors considered in calculating your EFC through the FAFSA. FAFSA allows a certain level of parental assets to be protected based on the age of the oldest parent and whether your family is a one- or two-parent family. The asset protection allowance is subtracted from reportable assets. Then 12% of the remaining amount is considered in calculating your EFC. For dependent students, there is no asset protection, and 20% of these assets are considered in calculating your EFC. Based on your personal circumstances, you may consider putting student assets in the parent's name, reducing your assets by paying off debt, and/or shifting assets into a retirement account. Retirement savings, the value of your home, and debt are not considered in calculating your EFC. The FAFSA you file in the fall of 2020 will be based on your income from the 2019 tax year, and your assets will be valued on the date you actually file your FAFSA. Factors considered in calculating the EFC through the CSS profile are more in-depth and all-encompassing. You may be surprised by your EFC, and you will likely find that your EFC is greater when the CSS profile is used. The EFC is the family's share of college costs and is not always an amount that families believe they can easily or realistically pay out of 1 year's income. Basically, your EFC is an index of what is decided through federal and institutional methodology that a family can absorb into their budget. The college will use the EFC to determine family need for financial aid by subtracting the EFC from the total cost of attendance. This is called demonstrated need. This is a good time to review your financial situation to determine what you can afford, how much you are willing to pay, and how you will meet your costs. When evaluating your situation, do not be blindsided by the following false statements. First, families with high income and/or assets should not bother to file a FAFSA. Don't eliminate yourself from potential opportunity. Let the college determine if your student is eligible for any discount off the sticker price. Even if you do not qualify for free money, grants or scholarships, you may be eligible for student loans and federal work study, which are nice options to consider. Furthermore, some colleges may consider your EFC when awarding merit aid. Second, families should expect to pay their estimated family contribution. The EFC is an estimate and not necessarily the amount you will pay. Some colleges guarantee to meet 100% of demonstrated need, while others will gap, meaning they do not meet full need. Keep in mind that some of the colleges that do not meet full need may be more generous with merit money. Third, all financial need will be met with grants and scholarships. Grants and scholarships are essentially free awards since you do not need to pay these back. However, colleges often include student and parent loans and work study in a financial aid package. Loans must be paid back and work study money must be earned. Fourth, student loans are an unrealistic option. Subsidized and unsubsidized direct student loans are not a bad deal. The student is eligible to borrow a limited amount of funds in his or her own name, giving the student the opportunity to take ownership of a small portion of his or her educational costs and begin to build credit. For subsidized loans, the federal government pays or subsidizes the interest until the student graduates and begins payment. It is not true that you must pay the highest cost for the best colleges. A May 6, 2014 Gallup poll found that factors such as selectivity had less impact on graduates' well-being and subsequent work lives than the actual experience they had while in school. The best college for your student is not necessarily the most expensive or highest ranked school, but rather where he or she will have the best college experience. Finally, finding an affordable college or university is very possible. Now that we have discussed cost of attendance and EFC, let's look at some college options. These are colleges that have a hefty cost of attendance, but also meet 100% of need. Let's see how that might impact you. First, take a look at your EFC. All of these institutions use the CSS profile to calculate need, and as you recall, the EFC is typically higher through CSS calculations. Now let's look at the cost of attendance for Caltech, which is $74,763 for the 2019-20 school year. If your EFC is $30,000, you will pay $30,000 toward your cost of attendance, and Caltech will meet your demonstrated need of $44,763. Keep in mind that very few of these colleges award merit scholarship. The figures next to each college are the number of admitted students out of the total number of IMSA applicants in 2019. IMSA students are among the best in Illinois, and the competitive colleges listed here are also choosing from the best nationally and internationally. As all of these colleges have very selective admissions, you must ask yourself, will my student be admitted? Know your EFC, understand the pool of applicants with whom your student is competing, and consider these colleges judiciously. In light of the cost and acceptance rate, let's look at some other options. Many less selective private colleges and universities charge a lower tuition than the highly selective schools previously mentioned. At these colleges and university, financial packaging will vary more, meaning anywhere from a small percentage to 100% of demonstrated need, and by offering both need and merit-based scholarships. Scholarships can be awarded for athletics, music, high test scores, particular majors, and community service, to name a few. Scholarships can be automatically awarded based on a student's college application, while others require an additional application. Some are automatically awarded to every student that qualifies, while others are offered on a competitive basis. Many students consider a variety of private colleges and university because the aid offered on a need and or merit basis can make these a more affordable option and still meet their expectations for a quality education. The flagship state university is considered the premier public school of its state. Every state has a flagship university and some have more than one. Our Illinois flagship is the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. Non-flagship public universities have less competitive admission rates and lower costs than their flagship counterparts, and this does not mean the quality of education is less. Many students consider in-state public universities since the in-state tuition charged can make these a more affordable option. Out-of-state universities can be viewed as an appealing option, although these can be more selective and offer fewer scholarships, while other out-of-state universities, wanting to attract out-of-state students, will offer more attractive aid. In some states, an out-of-state student can establish or transfer residency and eventually pay in-state tuition. Some families consider community college since this option can make the overall cost of college more affordable. A solid college list is diverse, so research colleges in each category for possible consideration. For your information, here are the 2019-20 costs for the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. UIUC in-state tuition rates are among the highest in the country and are the highest of the 12 Illinois state universities. Nevertheless, this is the flagship in-state option for Illinois students, and the CAC office strongly encourages every student to apply to UIUC or any of the other Illinois state universities to use as a baseline for comparing all college options. The best tool for estimating the affordability of a college will be that school's own net price calculator. A net price calculator gives you a personalized estimate of the net price you may be expected to pay and could include potential scholarship in addition to considering demonstrated need. Every college has its own net price calculator, so make sure you complete it for each college before that college is added to your student's college list. A quick and easy way to get to a school's net price calculator is to use the College Board link noted here. Type in the name of the college you are looking for at the top of the College Board page, and you will be given an overview of the college, including costs. Scroll about halfway down the page and you will find a link to the school's net price calculator. Note that each college may have a different kind of calculator, many of their own design. The net price calculator is only intended to provide an estimate, and some may be more accurate than others. Never hesitate to ask the college representative, how reliable is your net price calculator? We have talked about cost of attendance, expected family contribution, various college and university options, and net price calculators. Now let's determine what you can or are willing to pay. Many parents place a high value on education, but not every family can afford to spend the same amount. Even if your EFC is the same as another family's, you may owe a sizable mortgage, have car payments, or pay on your own student loans. You may have different financial commitments, like catching up on the funding of retirement accounts, caring for extended family, or incurring expenses for younger children. Some may have only a single income to consider. Honestly evaluate what you can afford and what you are willing to pay early in the process, and consider the following. When planning for college tuition payments, some families arrange to fit tuition payments into their monthly cash flow because money will be available from mortgage, car, or older sibling tuition payments that are about to end. If you make monthly payments into a savings account for college or some other purpose, consider making these payments directly towards your new tuition bill. Make a plan for how you will disperse funds you already have in a savings or that you expect to receive from other sources. Determine what you expect your student to contribute. Determine if you are eligible for either of 2 tax credits, up to $2,500 per student. The IRS link is noted here for more information. Special circumstances, such as reduced or lost income and excessive medical bills, can be factored into your demonstrated need by a college, while debt is not. You may not want your student to know the detailed nature of your finances. However, make sure your student knows your willingness or ability to meet his or her college costs. Make sure your student knows that you plan to file a FAFSA. Educate yourself on student and parent loans. Know how much you can borrow and decide in advance whether this will be a factor in making college affordable for you. The link on this slide will help you decide how much debt is reasonable for your student. Know your EFC is calculated by the FAFSA and CSS profile. Estimate what your student's additional expenses might be. Have a discussion with your student comparing your expectation for his or her college experience in relation to cost. Have a reasonable estimate of what your potential tuition bill will be at every college on your student's list by using the school's net price calculator. Come to an agreement with your student about what is important. For example, know if being debt-free upon graduation is more or less valued than having a particular experience or brand name on your college diploma. Establish just how much a particular college experience is worth in terms of cost, and if the student's earning potential justifies a higher level of debt. The best way to choose a college you can afford is to understand that there are many quality colleges and universities to consider, and numerous paths through which your student can earn a college degree. Be open to the many college options available. Understand what you may be expected to pay, and have an honest conversation with your student about what your family is willing to pay. This is one in a series of CAC-sponsored webinars. The exact dates and times of future webinars will be announced through Navient Student. If you would like to review this presentation again, it will be posted on the CAC link of the IMSA website in the next few days. Okay, I can take questions now. So if there's anything typed into the chat box, I will answer questions. You know what? If you can hold on just 1 minute, because I see the chat box and the questions aren't showing up in its entirety. So hold on. I'm going to get some technical help, and it'll probably take about at least 30 seconds or so. So I appreciate your patience. Hold on. Okay, I'm not seeing the questions in the chat box. Okay, I got it. How much will my EFC be affected by other siblings who are already in college? Your EFC is your estimated family contribution, so it's the amount you would pay as a family. So if you have 2 students in college, your EFC would be applied to 50% for one student and 50% for the other. If you have 3 students in college, then it would be divided by 3, 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 for each student. You're welcome. I think we're good then. All right. If you think of more questions, make sure you sign up for your family college conference, and we will take it from there. Thank you for your attendance.